Hello everybody, it's Naughty Nana Des on a sunny Saturday. How's everybody doing out there? It is crisp and chilly willy cold out there. It is brass monkey weather to say the least. I'm just saying. Vivi went out for a quick pee and she had a big poop, so everything's working on her end anyway. Both ends. So, yeah, I took her out and we didn't stay out too long. She had a little chilly. Her jacket just, nope, she wanted to come in. Her little feet, she'd be walking and she'd go, ooh. Lift the next one up. But yeah, we're inside nice and cozy warm. She's about to have a nap. Oh no, she's chewing on a bone over there. Just saying. So if you're new to this channel, please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because the way the tariffs are going to be coming on Monday, it's free. And nothing is going to be free once them trade tariffs start. So consider subscribing to the channel, and all my hangers on, you're lovely. You're perfect just the way you are. And I love each and every one of you. I really do. So thank you for getting me to 44,800 and some odd. I appreciate that. 50's the goal. 50's the goal. 50,000. And I know you guys will help me. So let's get into today, shall we? Well, not really today, but this week we sent down a Team Canada of sorts, not the hockey team, but with our border patrol people. I'm not going to say czar because that's just stupid. That's a stupid name, border czar. No, we have a retired RCMP officer that dealt with drugs and intelligence and stuff. He is looking after the drug situation at the border. And from what I can tell, he doesn't have much work to do because we're pretty good at detecting that stuff. Just saying. We'll get into that later. Now, there's been talks of tariffs with that big Mango Moose Knuckle baby that constantly needs a bullshit show and tell friggin' thing going on in the White House, like he did to Zelensky. Yeah. Yesterday's video covered that, I think. In January, the Mango Moose Knuckle said February 1st, the tariffs would begin on Canada and the U.S. and China. China already expected that. They've already been tariffed up the arse, so they're like, yeah, whatever. In January, he said February 1st. Then it was February 18th for our energy. Then he said April 12th. Then it was April 14th. And they thought, well, maybe April 1st. A cook at the House of Pancakes, for Christ's sake, flips less often than he does. Just saying. But, yeah, now he's saying March 4th is the day. That's Tuesday, I think. And this is first, second, yeah, Tuesday, the 4th. So, universal tariffs on 25% universal tariffs on everything coming into the United States from Canada, and 10% on our energy until he finds out what it's going to cost to redo his refineries to do their oil. We'll see. But anyway, the whole reason for this bully bullshit is because he thinks drugs are just pouring in across the United States border from Canada by the ton. He's a sick, sick man. I'm just saying. The man is sick. He can't keep track of his thoughts. He can't keep track of the condition his own country is in, that was once free, strong, and admired the world over. Not so much. People are going, oh, fuck, it's them. Ooh, don't look at them. Now, don't get me wrong. Most of the United States citizens are really good people, and they didn't vote for this shit. So, my Canadian listeners, most of the Americans are really good people. It's them friggin' MAGA minions down there. Because we got our maple minions up here as well that believe all that shit that he's talking. So take it easy on those Americans. They're not all hateful bastards like Trump and his lot are. So yeah, there's a lot of good Americans down there. Met a ton of them when I was in New York. But anyway, he says... he told Mussolini there, that was when they did that friggin' at the White House there with all the cabinet ministers and all that stuff. friggin' Mussolini shows up in his ball cap and everything. They got the nerve to talk about a guy that didn't wear a suit and tie yesterday, but Mussolini can get in there with a t-shirt saying he's the tech boss, excuse me. But nobody says anything about that though now. But he says that it's the scheduled tariffs will go forward. And unscheduled means the only thing that's scheduled is when Waltine Nauta schedules to change his pull-ups. That's the only thing that's scheduled. Because the rest of the shit just comes, yeah. So I gotta thank the Mango Moose Knuckle for one thing, however, for telling us to tighten up our undefended, longest secure border, over 9,000 kilometers, means that we are also defending our border against the Mango Moose Knuckle and his bullshit. This guy thinks he's going to redraw our border and take another 12 miles into Canada and take over our land. No, you're not. He said the border's invisible. So I guess he thinks that means that he can get his Sharpie out and just go to town. It's not how it works. Borders are surveyed. Both countries agreed to it. Both countries have markers all the way across the border. Oh, God, love us. So I guess that means that he thinks he can just dick with the border anytime he wants. Speaking of dicks. That border has been well marked and surveyed for years by both countries. Now, our border is keeping us safe from all the deadly guns and drugs from Trumpistan. Our Canadian Border Patrol has reduced drugs coming into the United States from Canada. It has dropped 97% in January compared to December 2024, which we were just under 1% of the amount of heavy drugs coming into the United States from Canada when this deal was made with Joseph Robinette Biden, who is a real president of the United States of America, who is not a felon and who is not found liable for sexual assault. So he's neither a felon nor a pervert like Donald Trump. The Mango Moose Knuckle says these tariffs will go ahead because Canada is ripping him off. No, you are not spending your $250 billion. You don't have a deficit of $300 billion. You're full of shit. It was $63 billion last year. And if you take out our oil reserves, you're actually ahead of the game. You're in the black, Donny. But you're an idiot, and you're too fucking stupid to see that. Now you're saying that Canada's ripping you off, and without the United States, Canada is not a viable country. We will cease to exist. No, we won't cease to exist, Donny. I guess President Mussolini had to rein him in a bit on that, because seeing as all his businesses do a lot of money in Canada. All them Tesla cars. Wait till Tuesday. Wait till Tuesday. You might have a dual passport there, Elon. But guess what? We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. Your business is going to be affected by the tariffs because when your cars come from the States to Canada, bam! 25% extra. And nobody wants your shit anyway. Just saying. And we're not going to be taking any of your satellite business either because we don't want you high on mushrooms or ketamine or something and get a whim and turn off your friggin' satellite. You did it to Ukraine. You're not fucking doing it to us. I'm just saying. Here in Canada, less than 1% of people illegally cross the border into the United States. And that has declined by 90%. So, like, it's what, 0.02 now? In the past 2 months, 97% it's gone down, which again started under President Joe Biden. Yes, when he was president in December. And the first part of January, I might add. Is the Mango Moose Knuckle really concerned with the amount of people crossing illegal into the states, which is now only about 0.5%, and just under 1% of illegal drugs coming in the United States? Or is his whole reason for this horseshit tariff bullshit to take over Canada for our natural resources, rare earth minerals, clear cut our forests, and pollute all our freshwater lakes and streams? I'm saying yes. That's exactly what this is about. It has nothing to do with tariffing anything. But guess what, Donny? No, not going to happen. You are not going to come into Canada and take over the way Putin came over and took over Ukraine. That's not going to happen. It's not. Trump, you're a poor man's Putin. That's what you are. You're trying to spout all those Russian propaganda slogans and stuff. You're not very good at it, Donny, because over there, you know who else helped you get in? Iran. That's right. Now, at your Oval Office meeting with Sir Keir Starmer of Britain, Trump said Canada and Mexico have not done enough to slow the drugs coming into the United States. In 2024, there was 19.5 kilograms of fentanyl from Canada compared to 9,570 kilograms coming into the United States from Mexico. And now he's saying that Mexico is doing a better job of cleaning up the border that Canada is, and we're ripping them off? And we're not doing enough? Seriously. Here are the facts. And even with Trudeau on his way out, he is the one that brought Canada together to fight against that wannabe felon and pervert. And people are also fighting to make sure that the Mango Moose Knuckle is not allowed into Canada for the G7 summit that's going to be held in Alberta in May. There's petitions going around saying, no, he's not allowed in. We don't let felons into our country. He is a felon, and we want him kept out. As far as Menopause Moose Knuckle goes, and his bullshit CBS and his bullshit, the Canadian Border Service Agency reported today that Americans reported less than 1% of the illegal drugs which are not pouring in, and immigrants crossing illegally are way down and way under 1% as well. And that's coming from the Mango Moose Knuckle's own border czar. Well, probably not Holman, because he's just a dick. CBSA said 2 Americans were arrested at the Windsor-Detroit border with enough fentanyl and fentanyl pills to kill 10,000 people. Whew. Saved our people, but they all came through America. And as far as fentanyl goes, police agencies across Canada are cracking down hard on the drug dealers, and they've improved their intelligence and surveillance, and that's great for us. Yesterday, the RCMP, well, I think that was Thursday now, the RCMP reported 489 occurrences related to fentanyl and synthetic opioids that resulted in 524 arrests and seizures of huge quantities of drugs and other commodities like guns and such. Police have seized 46 kilograms of fentanyl and 15,765 pills of fentanyl and synthetic opioids, blah, 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 like oxycodone. So, considering how much Canada has done and continues to do, these tariffs have nothing to do with the people or drugs coming into the United States. This is an attempt to appear strong and tough and pay your unending debt to your daddy, Vladdy Putin. Iran helped you get elected too, like I mentioned before. So, what's their price, Donny? What do you got to give them? You already let them go on the nuclear deal and said, no problem, I can build them. Yeah. So you let them do that. And you got to wonder how tough he really is with that huge makeup-covered bruise on the back of his hand. The White House says, because he shakes too many hands. No. I've had surgery and stuff, and I know how that bruise goes on the back of the hand from an IV. Just saying. So, after that bully fest in the Oval Office yesterday, which exactly that was, and it was all set up so they can say, see, look, Daddy Vladdy, I tried to make it better. I tried to make him say it, but he wouldn't do it. I tried. He's not going to let you off that easy, Donny. I'm sure that there's some tapes coming out. I am sure there are tapes of you in Russia doing stuff. You sounded like my two kids arguing in the back of the car, saying shit like, Mom, he's looking out my window. Mom, she's looking at my game. By the way, my kids, when they were doing that stuff, were 3 and 4 years old. Just saying. Now, the Mango Moose Knuckle proved once and again what a shitty negotiator he really is. You can't act like a 6-year-old and think you're going to negotiate with adults. It just doesn't work. You're really good at finding the best toadies that before would have tore this shit to ribbons before. But now they're all bending and scraping. They're running out of money because they're spending too much money on knee pads alone. Bending down and kneeling down to you. Your disgusting little toadies like Shady Pants there and little Marco, he is a very little man. He is a small, insignificant piece of shit. They really are, both of them. I wouldn't trust them to guide an old lady across a busy intersection. I really wouldn't. Without having her to first beg for not to get killed and then beg for, and oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. Oh, thank you for doing this. Oh my God. Thank you. Please deduct my old age pension. Please deduct my Medicare. Yeah, that's what they want in return for everything. They're assholes. They really are. So Canada's doing their part. And again, don't get pissed off at all Americans. It's not all Americans. 99 loves you. Be good, be safe. Please take care of you first. And don't forget to subscribe. It's important. It means a lot to me. And it really helps this channel grow. Mwah! Take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. I love you. Have a great weekend.